Can you hear me? Yeah. Okay, great. While each one of us have taken to the news, social media, webinars to discuss the effects and its impact, it may not be out of place to mention that during such extraordinary times, moving inwards may be the best way to deal with and deal with the crisis which all of us at some point of time have craved for, for the stillness or the wisdom that it has. Instances such as millions of Indians lighting the lamps in solidarity amid lockdown, or Indians clapping and ringing the bells to cheer emergency workers during the lockdown are all collective efforts to raise the consciousness of the universe, allowing us to think positively, have the right attitude, and above all, keep believing in the power of the Creator. Deep down, we know that it's been that we are all spiritual beings. Whether we realize it or not, it's all in the greater responsibility towards to exercise our faith to witness the divine intervention. We are happy to partner with the Brahma Kumaris, Shanti, Sarovar, Hyderabad, for introducing an online seminar on lock-in to look in to experience a spiritual quarantine, and Mr.EV.Gireesh brother for agreeing to conduct this, and many FTCCI members have enrolled for this 5-day session, and we are sure that will benefit spiritually from such talks. I hope this is a great stress buster for most of us living in the confines of our home or our little office spaces, that if we are allowed to work, and we believe that we'll come out unscathed and in a better mood to fight this and take this on in the future. Thank you very much, sir, for letting us be part of your effort to bring these courses online, and we all wish you all the best and all the success in this event. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. I also wanted to thank Ramakant Inani, Senior Vice President, FTCCI, and Bhaskar Reddy, Vice President, FTCCI, for their kind support for this session. Okay, I think Geshbhai, we are good to start now. Over to you.
Yeah. Once again, putting on record my sincere thanks and appreciation to FTCCI, the chairperson, president, the office bearers, and every member or guest who have joined today to be a part of today's session. So as I was mentioning, I may ask a lot of questions, but I don't want you to give me the answers. It is just for you to reflect upon, to ponder upon, and maybe in the chat box, the later part of today's session, when we have a Q&A program, Q&A session, there you can pose questions related to today's topic. So the next 5 days, what we are going to do is, it is to, if I need to start with a very beautiful quote, it says, the universe has shaken you to awaken you. Or maybe I may say, invisible virus has shaken us, but the invisible Almighty would help us to awaken us. And as Sir was mentioning, this is a time when we have to become positive and look at not from a negative perspective, but as an opportunity. Easier said than done, but I would, in the next 5 days, would try to cover a lot of dimension of human existence, which could be a part of our physical life, our emotional life, our financial life, our social life, and as a whole, holistically, we can come out of it. So what we will be covering in the next 5 days is, today we'll try to look at spirituality as a tool. This could be the focal point of the 5 days of discussion, and how the application of these spiritual tools in our day-to-day life can enhance our quality of life as far as business is concerned, or work from home is concerned, or being confined to the houses are concerned, or health is concerned, or looking at the future is concerned. So what we'll be doing is we will try to understand and maybe deliberate as far as the reality of spirituality is concerned, because there is a lot of misconceptions about spirituality. When I talk to you and I speak about spirituality, you need to trust me, and and I'll give you assurance. I will not speak anything about religion per se. Spirituality is at a higher dimension than religion, and I respect every religion, and I respect everyone's view about religion is concerned, but I'll not touch upon any of those aspects. We will touch upon the purpose or aspirations of life is concerned, because this gives us ample opportunity and time to reflect, because we are not so busy as we used to be, because our travel time has come down. So we can take few moments of silence to reflect upon as to what exactly is the purpose of life. It will not be very philosophical. I'll back it up with a lot of scientific and logical and rational thinking, so that it can appeal all of us. And I want you to send your queries as much as you can, so that it can be a very level playing ground. It's not a one-way communication that I speak and you listen and you accept it. Rather, I would request you, please don't accept anything what I have to tell you. I want you to question, because that's where a human quest starts. If I need to tell you about human psychology, even if we have to go and buy a 5 rupees pen, 5 rupees is nothing in today's time, but even if you have to go out and buy a 5 rupee pen, we just don't buy it at the face value of it. We will take a scribbling pad and we'll try to scratch it out and see whether the pen is worth 5 rupees or not. So even for a 5 rupee pen, we do check whether it is working or not. So when we speak about life, spirituality, unprecedented time, strengthening emotional bonds, I want you to listen to me from that intellectual capacity, whether it will actually work, whether it is practicable. Because it is very easy to preach and very easy and soothing to listen, but maybe equally difficult for us to put it into practice as far as the practical life is concerned. And we will also see how spirituality can enhance our health on a holistic level, and how to face the challenging times with peace and tranquility. So to begin with, if I need to play with words and speak something about what's the business of life, or maybe if I need to twist it, what is life's business? In fact, in the name of business, what we have done is people have separated business and life. So I don't lead a life when I'm into business, or maybe I'm in the corporate world. I have to separate my business life and my personal life is concerned. We have made silos, and this 5 days of program is to bring it together from a different perspective altogether. So it's actually not business, it is actually the business of life that we'll be discussing, because life as a resource is how you utilize this resource to enhance the quality of a life. So we will not talk about business and life or a work-life balance. We will talk about life is business, my life is my business, or my business is my life. That's what we will try to dwell upon. And what is precisely the business of life? And if I need to tell you in one simple word, it is very easy to understand. It is human well-being. In every dimension of human life, be it our physical life, be it our emotional life, be it our social life, spiritual life, career, financial life, it is all about well-being. It's about becoming better and better and better at something that I do. So it should not happen that I become better at one thing, but I sacrifice the other dimension of life. So this 5 days of program is primarily the business of human well-being. And the product, if I need to tell you, the product is Raj Yoga meditation, or I call it as spirituality. So if I use this product of Raj Yoga meditation or spirituality, maybe the business of human well-being would become enhanced. And the service provider who is the what you call promoter or the creator of this particular product happens to be the Almighty God. And I would not dwell much about God here right now because it's a very controversial aspect, but maybe in the ensuing session, if you all want, we can touch upon that as a source. And who is the consumer of this well-being? It is you and me. Every human being on planet Earth is a consumer who would consume this product of Raj Yoga meditation and enhance the quality of life. And the supplier who would provide us all these things, none but the Brahma Kumaris organization. And we are spread across the whole of the world with 9,000 centers. We call them as service centers where we can go and learn and get this product of Raj Yoga meditation. Now, since we are under lockdown, a lot of online courses are also available, and the cost that you need to pay or the price for this particular product is little precious time, which is very invaluable and which is very costly. But I think since we are under this lockdown phase, we should be able to take a little time and invest this time into onto ourselves. So if I look at the current scenario and I try to look at it, it looks to be very uncertain. We don't know what's going to happen tomorrow as far as business, industry, employment, my security of my job is concerned, and so forth. Even children are stressed out, families are stressed out. We don't know whether the lockdown after 3rd May is going to get extended. I don't know how life would be tomorrow. We are all having these questions, and this is what we call it as uncertainty. And I think it is how we embrace uncertainty in our lives today which will lead to great transformation of our inner being. It is only during challenging times that our inner personality gets enhanced, we become more powerful. And to tell you with a very generalistic perspective, there is nothing certain, to be very honest, but the uncertain. The only thing certain in this world is uncertainty. It is very well said, nothing is for sure, and that is for sure that nothing is sure. Uncertainty is life's way of telling that there are only few things you can control. And if I need to bring a different perspective to it, I call it as the truth or the reality of our life. And this is where I want you to dwell little upon. I'll give you a very simple example. So I believe that we don't lead a true life. It could be a balanced statement. I want you to gracefully accept it, but it looks like that. And this is where I believe ignorance and the reality comes into picture. I'll give you a very simple logical understanding. It is just an analogy to substantiate my logical viewpoint, and this would make the basis of the next 5 days of program. What I'm trying to say is that, as I told you previously also, please don't accept whatever I have to tell you. I am not here to share my experiences of life. Maybe the audience or the attendees of today's program, they may have much more rich experience of life in terms of thinking, in terms of life, in terms of doing business. I'm not speaking about that as an experience, because experiences are or could be a basis of how you and I perceive life, you and I perceive relationship, you and I perceive future. And this perception of how I perceive or how I look at something, it can be different from different people. And this is where the whole problem comes in. This is where complexity of our life comes in. Although I appreciate that we are all different and we all have different ways to look at things, and I appreciate it. But today when I speak about about spirituality as a reality, there has to be some absolute truth which should remain common for everybody. It should not change. And this is where, if we try to look life, life becomes easy, life becomes simple. I'll give you a very simple, a universal law. It's a law of physics, and you might have heard this example umpteen times from different speakers. I'll quote it again. I'll give you a very simple example of that of gravity. Suppose I throw something up, the law of gravity says that the earth will pull down that particular object at the rate of 9.8 meters per second square, within a limit as far as the earth and the distance is concerned. I call gravity as truth. For anything to be truthful, there are two primary conditions to happen. Until and unless these two criteria are sufficed by anything, we cannot call it as truth, as far as this example goes. And I will, for the next 5 days, whatever I tell you as an idea or a concept or a theory or a positive thought, it should not be based on how I perceive something or based on the experiences I've had in the last 46 years of my existence, or what I was taught, or a school of thought by my parents or society or teachers or books that I've read. No, it has to be from the genesis of what I speak should be from the basis of truth. And if what I say has to be truthful, then it has to match these two conditions. And condition number one, and it has to be very rational and logical. And the first condition for anything to be truthful is it should be an always phenomena. The permanency factor should be there. It cannot, gravity cannot be there morning and evening it vanishes. And if I try to take a timeline of human life with respect to the timeline of the evolution of Earth till the time it goes off, I don't know when, and I try to match or compare a human being's timeline of an average life expectancy with that of the lifespan of Earth, and I think it's very, very, very tiny. Maybe I live for 100 years. 100 years is too much on the higher side. Let us assume average life expectancy is 75 years for an Indian. So 75 years of my existence and the existence of the Earth, I may say gravity is a permanent factor for me. Number one, it was there when I was born, maybe before I was born. It is there today also, and it will be there even after I die also. So if I look at my life, it is 9.8 meters per second square. I like it, I don't like it, I believe, I don't believe, I say some funky creation by Newton, whatever it is, it doesn't change. It is not based on my perception of how I feel, how I look, based on my liking, not liking, choices and experiences I've had. It is the truth, it is absolute. Anything you throw up, it will come at 9.8 meters per second square. Number one. So for anything to hold true, the first condition is it should be an always phenomena. And for the next 5 days, for anything and everything that I tell you, it should be based on this fundamental condition, that is, it should be an always phenomena. Number two, for any idea to be truthful or real, it should be common for everybody. It cannot be different for different individuals. Based on my capacity, my willingness, my ability, yes, everybody responds in a particular situation in a different way, I understand. But gravity is common for everybody. For women also it is 9.8 meters per second square, for men also, for any religion, for Indians, for Americans, for the British national, for French. It doesn't discriminate. Truth will never discriminate. Truth cannot be different for different people, for different religion, for different sex, for different nationality, for different gender, for different language, for different culture. And unfortunately today, when we are, in this particular, chaotic world, wherein the whole universe is shaking the very, existence of our ego that we hold as far as science is concerned, as far as technological development is concerned. Maybe we had lost our ground. We thought that we are everything and we can control everything. I'm so sorry. Maybe this COVID-19 has made us little humble to accept that things can go beyond our control. And that is where embracing truth gives me little solace that fine, let me accept the truth and the reality as it is, not based on different people's perception is concerned. So gravity, according to me, just to exemplify and make it little easy for us, gravity according to me is truth because it's an always phenomena. Number two, it is common for everybody. Now let us try to understand how we make it complicated as far as this truth is concerned. I'll give you a very weird example related to this truth. I share it in most of my programs. I'll share it with you. Many of you might have heard it if you have heard it before. Gireesh doesn't like, look at how we use our intellectual capacity to make our life miserable, comfortably miserable as far as certain truths are concerned. Life is truth, but we don't accept it as far as the truths are concerned. So Gireesh doesn't like gravity. I don't appreciate gravity. I have anxiety disorder. I mean, you can relate it to anything. I don't like being locked up into my room. I don't like all the rules and regulations that is being stipulated by the government of India. I have got business, I have got a lot of employees to take care of, and they are not easing the lockdown. I mean, a lot of things I don't appreciate, I don't like it. It gives me anxiety, I can't sleep. It is giving me a lot of stress. It's, having a physical issue also, my BP goes up. And for me, it is not lockdown, it is gravity. You may wonder and you may laugh at me, wondering, Gireesh, I mean, how can you be anxious because of gravity? How can you be under stress because of gravity? Because till date, nobody on planet Earth has ever told you that I'm under stress because of gravity. I mean, this is hilarious. I mean, this is, ridiculous. I'll tell you one simple experience of mine. Prior to lockdown, suppose, I'm from Mumbai. I stay in Mumbai, and Mumbai is famous for its, the lifeline of Mumbai is the local train. And local trains in Mumbai are pretty much crowded most of the time, since it starts at 4 in the morning till late at night. Most of the time it is, jam-packed. And once I was traveling, and when my station came where I had to alight from the station, and because it was very crowded, a lot of people trying to get in, a lot of people trying to get out of the train, I don't know what happened. Something hit my glasses from the back, maybe somebody's arms or knees or shoulders, I don't know. And the spectacles came out of my face. And before I could sense what was happening, and I could, both the hands were occupied with my office bag, my laptop bag. Before I could take control of the situation, free one of my hands and hold my spectacles, it came crashing down. A lot of people stepped onto it, and I had to bear a loss of almost around 5,000 rupees. Now, if I need to tell you, I am in pain, I am miserable, I am stressed out because of gravity. You know why? Because I lost 5,000 rupees because of gravity. Because if gravity wouldn't have been there, this, the eyeglasses could have floated in the air. You may, after listening to me, you may consider me as somebody who is very stupid. But that's how it is. Because I don't like gravity. And why I don't like gravity? Because of gravity, I lost 5,000 rupees. Very logical deduction out of the whole experience. Now, if I need to ask you a question, what do I do to come out of it? How do I handle my anxiety, my fear, my pain, my stress, my anger, my frustration? And the cause of all these things is gravity. Because of gravity only, it fell down. If gravity wouldn't have been there, it would have kept floated, and I would have saved my 5,000 rupees. I'll tell you something very comical. I was doing a program for Indian Medical Association. I do a lot of programs for doctors. So once I was doing a program for Indian Medical Association in Chennai, I quoted the same example. There was one doctor who said, Gireesh, I think you need to get admitted in a mental hospital because you are not normal. You have gone crazy. You have gone nuts. This is not how a very logical person, a normal person would think. You've gone insane. And if I need to ask you one question, the doctor told me another thing. Gireesh, in case you don't want to get admitted in the mental hospital, I have got another medicine for you. I said, what is that? And the doctor told me, Gireesh, accept it. And if I need to tell you one great power to overcome any difficulties or any challenges of life is to accept things as they are right now, and then do what best I can do to overcome the challenge. But accepting establishes tranquility. So the moment I have accepted gravity as it is, I don't go to fight against gravity. I don't get agitated or frustrated. That means I've accepted the truth. And if I need to tell you little on the balance side, I have no other choice but to accept the truth. What options do I have? Please tell me. I mean, I cannot do anything. And if I need to relate it with something which is the current scenario, have I accepted the fact? Have I accepted people around me? Have I accepted the way my wife or my partner or my spouse is behaving right now? Can I accept the fact the way my mother-in-law and my wife are having a relationship? Can I accept the fact that yes, we are all under lockdown? Let me not get agitated. Let me not get worried unnecessarily. Let me not be agitated within me. At least this is what I can do. So if I need to tell you, the only way, the first thing to, as far as reality is concerned, so spirituality is nothing but accepting certain things that is going around me. The first understanding. And if I need to tell you the second reality, and the second reality is, which is something to do with spirituality, I who thought I have complete control of my life, I repeat, I who thought I had complete control of my life realized that I can control only three things. Beyond three things, everything is out of control. But then I think man has always strived. The pursuit of excellence was to control nature, was to control technology, control business, control bottom lines, control top lines, control people, control / manage, whatever. Although they are not similar terms, but in managerial terms we speak about managing and controlling. So we were trying to control our future, and look, suddenly one fine day we are all lost. We don't know what best we can do. So these three things that I can control, unfortunately these three things are out of control because we have not trained ourselves in controlling these three things. Number one, I who thought I have complete control of my life realized I can control only three things. Number one is my thoughts, is my mind. Number two is the images that these thoughts create, what I call it as my attitude. And the third one, or maybe in a slighter version I may say the way I perceive things. And the third one is the actions that is derived out of the interaction of my thoughts that I create and the images that these thoughts create, my action. And unfortunately, stress, if I need to look at somebody who's in stress, stress is nothing but when I am not in control of my thoughts. It's mental loose motion. I have no control over it. And if I need to tell you, the beautiful design, like gravity is not a creation of human intellectual capacity or human brilliance. Yes, I appreciate man or science and technology has made man's life, Gireesh brother's life, very easy. I can talk to you right now sitting in my beautiful house, you at your different places, you can also watch me thanks to this chat and internet and webinars. I appreciate it. I have nothing against science and technology, but the science and technology did not create gravity. It was just a reference. It was just to make my life beautiful. As I told you initially, the business of my life or life business has to be human well-being. But today, if suppose the usage of WhatsApp, usage of social media, usage of television, news channels, Netflix, if some way or the other, if I get addicted to it, now that is what is a great concern. It's I'm losing the ability to control myself or the ability to use it as a reference, rather than the mobile phone or the science and technology has become a part of me. And that is where, if I need to tell you, it's a little serious issue. If time permits, maybe the next 5 days we will dwell upon digital detoxification. And the principles are similar to that of any behavioral detoxification, like somebody is addicted to smoking or drugs or drinking. And today it's on the rise, because if I find my son smoking, I'll try to stop him. I'll try to take it away. But in a family of 5 people, everybody is using a cell phone and everybody is glued to the cell phone. So this is where I think we are making it a little complicated. I'm not saying that please don't use it. I'm myself using it right now. I mean, it's a little ironical, but there has to be certain discipline. And why am I not able to get discipline? Number 2, I was doing a session for a DBS bank, and they asked me to speak about a topic called as enhancing productivity and efficiency during work from home. And if I need to tell you, I told them everything, that probably 99% of the information they knew it. The problem was not that I don't know. The problem is, do I have the necessary willpower to do the right? Am I empowered enough? And that's where spirituality comes into picture. And the reality is that yes, I have got tremendous potential within me. If I can use my intellectual capacity to make, with the advent of science, technology, discoveries, invention, to make life so easy right now, sitting at different places, we can talk to each other. Why can't we make it similarly as far as our intelligence is concerned with respect to controlling our mind? I'll give you a very simple, that's how the design is. It's not Brahma Kumaris, it's not Gireesh who has made this human body, the mind and everything. Gireesh did not make gravity, and that's why I told you, please don't accept whatever I have to tell you. You have to only accept if it matches these 2 conditions. Number 1, it's always phenomena, and the number 2, it should be common for everybody. I'll give you an example. Does my hand listen to me? And the answer is very simple, yes. Only under one condition the hand will not listen to me. It is when I have a stroke and I have got a paralytic attack. That means medical science says, even if I wish to lift a glass of water from the left hand where I have been paralyzed, I'll not be able to. So I am giving commandment for my hand, I am giving order to my hand to lift that glass of water, but my hand will not do, because there is a mismatch, the connection is not there. That's what stroke is. Now if I need to put a similar question relevant to it is, does my mind listen to me? And if I need to tell you, the attention span of human beings in the year almost around 2000, it was almost around 15 seconds continuously. With the advent, goldfish attention span is 8 seconds. And today, if I'm sitting in front of a computer, you would be surprised or maybe shocked to know the attention span of a human being in front of, this is for digital marketeers, it is only 3.5 seconds. In 3.5 seconds, I'll open a next window, or maybe I'll see another ad. So if a digital marketer has to make an ad to catch the attention span of a viewer, you will have to summarize, you will have to put all your messages within 3.5 seconds. That's the challenge, because we are a generation, a distracted generation, I may say, to be with due respects to human beings. We have become a distracted lot. So the first truth, that's the power I have. Each and every one of us have. It's not that it has been discriminated. Somebody has more, somebody has less. No, and we can practice it. we can develop it, and that's what spirituality as a tool comes into picture. Number one, can I be the master of my thoughts and the images that these thoughts create? And number three is the actions that is derived out of it. And if I need to tell you, the third truth is what is happening around me. Whatever is happening around me, it can be determined by somebody else. It can be at the whims and fancies of somebody else. But whatever is happening within me, there should be only one person who should be in control of it. And that should be me. And if whatever is happening within me, in terms of my emotional state of mind, and it has got a very great bearing or a repercussion or impact on my physiology, on my emotional health, on my interpersonal health, on my decision making skills, on my efficiency, my creativity, on problem solving skills, you name it. Everything that a manager or a leader has to do, because I think somebody at that level, our brains, our intellectual capacity should be at the maximum. We are not doing a blue collar work. We are doing all white collar work. We need to find solution, and the solution is not here. It's not in the textbook. We need to think, we need to create, and creativity and everything would only come when I am tranquil, when I am at ease, when I am at peace, when I am silent. And as I told, if whatever is happening within me is also controlled by somebody else, this is, I think, is the greatest form of human slavery. So what is going to happen tomorrow, I don't know, nobody knows. But I'm worried about it. Now, whether to worry or not to worry could be my choice. And if I need to tell you before I wind up and we do a 10-minute meditation, before I leave you with little points to ponder over, we will dwell upon it as far as fear is concerned, and how this fear enters into a subconscious mind. We will try to understand it tomorrow and see how we can change the programming of our subconscious mind through a conscious effort, what I call it as Raj Yoga meditation. But I'll just tell you one aspect of it. And it is said, generally, as far as the Indian society is concerned, if somebody, a near or dear one dies, let us assume a natural death. Our understanding, or the way we look at the whole process of death is concerned, is we don't feel good about it. We feel bad about it. We are sad. We are sorrow. We will miss that person. But death is also truth. Whether you like it, you don't like it. Can I accept death? The problem is not death. The problem is not accepting death as reality. What is causing is pain, is causing fear. I'll give you a very simple example. I was doing a program almost a week back for Times Internet, and they asked me to speak about calmness during unprecedented time, and they said very specifically, few of our reporters, they go out, they get a lot of news information, they have to be with people, they have to visit hospitals, they have to talk to a doctor or maybe a healthcare worker, and in the process the chances is that they may also get infected by the virus. So how to overcome this fear? Now, as I told you, the situation is outside. If I have fear here, then the whole process of working, I have to work, I have to go out, if suppose I'm a reporter. So the question is not about, I need to prepare myself, I need to take all the precautionary measures, I need to ensure that I don't get infected, fine. So getting prepared at the physical level, getting prepared at the financial level, getting prepared at the future level, but in the process of doing all these things, what's happening is, the outcome is, I am worried here. And if what's happening here I can't control, then I'm a slave. Then where is my ability to create opportunities out of something which is non-favorable? And this is where I think spirituality as reality, we need to embrace it, we need to understand it, we need to realize it, that we need to take complete control of ourselves, our thoughts, our emotions, our attitude, our responses to a stimuli which is outside. We will go into the details tomorrow. As of now, let us wind it up with a 5 to 6 minutes of meditation. But before that, let me summarize what I tried to put it across to you as far as the platter is concerned. Number one is that we need to embrace truth. No 2% till date on planet Earth has ever fought in the name of gravity. You cannot fight. You know why? You don't have a scope, because truth is common for everybody. My gravity, your gravity, my religion, your religion, my thinking, your thinking, my perception, your perception. Now this is all very complex. And we will slowly and steadily in the next 5 days go to these beautiful fundamental universal truth. I have not created it, believe me. This is not a creation of Brahma Kumaris. Brahma Kumaris speaks about all these things, makes it aware that there is a beautiful way as far as well-being is concerned. And the first one is to embrace truth. And the only thing what we can do with truth is to accept it. Number one. And we also understood two beautiful truths. We are only in control of three things. That is my mind, the thoughts that I generate. So can we till tomorrow morning generate consciously, deliberately, purposefully, in complete awareness, generate positive, serene, good, beautiful thoughts, because I am the creator. Number one. And the images that these thoughts create, the attitude. I know people around you, it could be a possibility that they are stressed out. Can I look at them with grace? Can I give them a helping hand? I am not looking from a blame game point of view and trying to, give them advices, but I become easy. I try to understand them. And number three, as far as I told you, the actions that is, derived out of it. My words become sweet. I become considerate. I try to understand. I give a soothing hand to my children, to my family members. We all sit together, say beautiful words. And the second truth is that whatever is happening around me, I cannot be in control. I can only be in control of what's happening within me. With that note, I would give a pause to my talk, and I want you to sit back. There is a very beautiful visual commentary. I want you to see it. Don't close your eyes. I want you to allow yourself, as far as that beautiful words, the music and the visuals are concerned, so that you are not distracted. All the senses are completely engrossed into your mobile screen or your laptop screen, and then I will throw open for any Q&A session is concerned. Thank you so much. We will meet again tomorrow at 7 o'clock.
Yeah, if anybody has any questions, please send them over the chat. We have a couple of more minutes, so maybe we can take that. Okay, Keshwai, I think you explained so beautifully. Yeah, okay, finally we got one. Can we discuss importance of money in our life?
Money is very important, but money can only give you comfort. So we will discuss it tomorrow also, as far as the the purpose of life is concerned. But yes, money is important to lead a very comfortable life. But when it comes down to happiness, when it comes down to love, when it comes down to certain emotional aspects, this is where money doesn't come into picture. And if we can balance the amount of energy that I spend in earning money vis-a-vis the amount of energy I spend in earning love, peace, happiness, and if we can balance it out, life becomes absolutely wonderful. So maybe if I need to tell you, if you ask any grandparent or forefathers, they would say that we didn't have a lot of comforts, we didn't have a lot of facilities, But life was easy, life was beautiful, life was serene. On the contrary, today we have so much of things that as far as money can buy, but when it comes down to inner peace, satisfaction, love, trust, camaraderie, cooperation, faith, this has taken a beating. So spirituality has nothing to do against money. Money is a strict no-no for a spiritual person. No, you can earn as much money as you want, but parallelly I need to give a lot of time and energy as far as these aspects of human life is concerned, that is love, peace, happiness is concerned.
Thanks, Gireesh bhai. There's one more, I think we can take that. How to come out from media news, especially when they are hammering on our mind continuously.
Okay. If this question is asked by a child, I would request the parent to switch it off and keep the remote control and the wire inside a lock and key. If you are the one who has the control over the on a lighter way, if you are the one who has the remote control of the television, you are only one step away. Decide, set a timetable. How much time do I need to watch television? Is the television channel or the news channel forcing you to watch it? No. Maybe I'm habituated to it and I need to change this habit, and it requires little willpower, it requires little attention, it requires little willpower. So let us assume if you in your entire family can consciously and democratically take a view that post 10 o'clock we will not watch news, one, and the entire day we will be only watching 1 hour in toto, or maybe let us say 1 hour if it is too much on the asking for you, maybe 2 hours. So spread it, maybe 10 minutes, and the urge to watch it for 5 minutes and then sit in front of the TV for 2 hours, that's where I need to become aware that I'm getting lost. It requires a little deliberate, sincere practice of meditation will definitely help you. But I think we need to plan it out, we need to be very disciplined about it. How much time for television, and within the television, how much time for news, for other programs is concerned, how much time for my family, how much time for myself. And if you can spread it and plan it as far as once you get up in the morning, I think you will be able to do it. And if you can, if I need to tell you, there is something scientifically what is called as neuroplasticity. We will discuss in the next session. If you do it, constantly, switch off the TV and then don't get swayed by that urge to watch the TV. The neuroplasticity is the new connection that the brain forms by doing a task again and again. The urge will subside down. So your brain, the way our human body is structured or made, it will help you, it will aid you, it will assist you, that the temptation to watch after 1 week will stop. We will get into it in detail also.
Thanks, Gireesh bhai. Thanks a lot. I think we can close it for today.
Yeah. Thank you, everyone. We will meet tomorrow exactly at 7 p.m.